Prosecutors allege Dr. William Husel prescribed orders of fentanyl that were so grossly inflated that they killed his patients. Husel's defense team claims he is a doctor showing compassion for his dying patients. That's the backdrop of opening statements as Husel's murder trial got underway this morning. Chief investigative reporter Bennett Haberly broke the story of this scandal 3 years ago, and he joins us live from the court with the arguments. Good afternoon, Bennett.
Tracy, good afternoon. Two very different approaches this morning. Assistant Prosecutor Janet Grubb laid out major themes in this case that all boil down to the state's allegation that Dr. William Husel ordered these potentially fatal doses of drugs that, in their view, killed his patients. By contrast, defense attorney Jose Baez spoke to the jury for more than an hour, getting deep into the weeds, into the complexities of this case, what may have killed these patients, and also blaming the hospital for using Husel as a scapegoat to protect their federal funding when this scandal all broke. Ultimately, the defense's argument is that Husel was providing comfort care, trying to help his patients avoid a painful death. Husel's accused of ordering those potentially fatal doses of drugs for 14 of his patients. Prosecutors initially charged him with 25 counts of murders, but had whittled down those charges to 14. The central question, of course, in this case, did the dosages kill the patients, or was it something else? The prosecutor said that the doses prescribed by Husel were 6 to 20 times higher than the recommended dose for the similar painkiller morphine. They allege Husel had the knowledge as well to know that these doses would kill his patients. Husel's attorney Jose Baez says Husel was showing compassion for those under his care. You're going to hear from him and then the prosecution.
There's no such thing as a medical murder case, and that this is not a murder case, and it's far from it. William Husel was exercising compassion to his patients and trying to free them from pain.
Many were extremely serious. They had families, lives, and people who cared about them. They went to the hospital for help. Several of them were not sick enough that they were destined to die during their hospitalization. They all had one thing in common. William Husel was the nighttime ICU physician who ordered lethal levels of drugs or a combination of drugs with their removal from a ventilator.
Now, defense attorney Jose Baez brought up a number of issues during his opening statements today, including he showed internal communications from Mount Carmel that alleged that Husel and others were, quote, villains. This is part of the crisis communication plan the hospital developed in wake of the news of this scandal developing back in 2019. You're going to expect to hear from 50 witnesses during this trial that could last 8 weeks, everyone ranging from a homicide detective to those who worked inside the hospital. Follow us for any updates. Reporting live inside the courthouse, Bennett Haberly, 10 TV News.